Howdy, and welcome to Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Yep, another baseball podcast. Here we talk about baseball like a few friends sitting at the bar. Awesome. We welcome your input and look forward to your comments. All right, here it is, Season 3, Episode 13. Are you ready for CBA updates? I'm not really sure if I'm ready to discuss this. We are in preliminary stages of negotiating the next collective bargaining agreement, the CBA, between owners and players. You have to be interested in this if you're a baseball fan, because the topics and agendas of both parties spell trouble. Strikes suck and they piss everyone off. Can it be avoided though? This is like the nuclear war of baseball. But it is not 1994. Meaning, if baseball was to strike, the fans would just say, fuck it, and move on to something else. Think I'm out of touch with that? Well, the players and owners agree on that one. Currently, we are in the early stages of negotiation, where both parties are looking for fan support. This will continue throughout the summer, and you'll see different proposals and stands leaked to the media. What do you think? Do you know or understand the major topics in the next agreement? Basically, it's 2026. And the theme of all negotiations is more. Players want more. Owners want more. Typical, right? We all want more. But the fans want less. As in, less out-of-pocket expense to watch a $7.1 billion team play. Both the players and owners say they are concerned about the competitive balance and a fair chance to compete. Really? Well, I guess we got to talk about the so-called hot topics. First is benefits. Typical, improved salaries, enhanced health care benefits, improved pension plans. Seriously? I mean, keep this all at a minimum cost of living increase, because we all know that MLB players have the best freaking union in the world, and they have tremendous benefits. So let's not even go there. Working conditions. Another non-topic. You're playing a fucking sport that consists of 162 games in the regular season, approximately 30 games in the preseason, and another possible 20 games in the postseason. Holy shit, that's 214 games. Days off and scheduling. They've been a major improvement. As far as getaway games, non-topic. Let's move on. Free agency. Players want free agency faster and before 30 years of age. I see this conceding, the owners conceding in this topic if they get their way with salary structures. We suggested a change to free agency back in Season 1, Episode 20, Free Agents. Check it out. Let me know what you think about that. It's our proposal to change the free agency system. Now, also with free agents, they're definitely right before age 30, because all we're hearing now is, will he age well as a 30-year-old? And we heard that the most with Pete Alonso, where he wasn't getting a big contract because a lot of teams thought that he wouldn't age well after the old age of 30. That's changed a lot. Baseball's gotten younger. So what about compensation? Major League Baseball has proposed an increase to the minimum salary from $780,000 to $1.5 million. Nice raise. Next topic. Not a big point. All right. What about revenue sharing? Now, the players have proposed a 50-50 split of revenue. As a topic, I don't really see the owners picking this as a fight. Players are suggesting a number similar to other sports. Let's get real. The owners will agree to a topic like this just to keep them from exposing a third-party reviewer to open their books. Besides the publicly owned Atlanta Braves, no one knows the true revenue of any Major League Baseball team. The owners want to keep it that way. Penalties for teams that neglect to spend revenue-sharing payments on team payroll has been suggested by the players, but this has long been bullshit. Just look at the Pirates, the A's, the Marlins, and the other bottom dwellers in team salary. Increased sharing of local broadcast revenues among teams and less sharing of stadium game by day revenues is another suggestion by the players. Sounds good to me if it can be supported. I'm not really deep in that one. Salary cap. Here we go. The biggest issue in the next Major League Baseball collective bargaining agreement is likely to be the division of revenues between players and owners concerning the proposed salary cap and floor aimed at addressing competitive balance in the league. All right, this main topic is going to be the big deciding point on whether we have baseball in 2027 or not. Everyone has opinions on this, from supportive to opponents. Both parties, they tend to be full of shit in my book, but how will it pan out? I do believe if Major League Baseball loses any part of the regular season, they will be in deep shit upon its return. Why? Do you really have to ask why? When people are struggling to pay their bills, maintain a home, just name a topic, and it's been ugly the past 8 years for the average American. Without getting too political here, people are just fed up getting screwed on yet another item. And if Major League Baseball wants to improve attendance and revenue, a loss of games will end the league's clout. Here's a question a lot of people ask. TV. Where do I find the fucking game? Current broadcasting landscape is ABC, ESPN as a national broadcaster. They do about 30 regular season games. Fox and FS1 national broadcaster. They do 85 plus games a season. MLB Network as a national broadcaster. Various games, including playoffs. Then we've got TBS, national broadcaster, select games during the year. Apple TV, streaming service, exclusive games on select days. And NBC Peacock, another streaming platform, that's Major League Baseball Sunday and other games. Now, the potential changes in the CBA could lead to more streamlined broadcasting approach. It may allow Major League Baseball to negotiate better deals with networks and streaming services. This shift may also affect how fans access the games. Now, the league looks to supposedly modernize its media strategy. Be careful of that word, too, modernize. I mean, somebody's paying for the changes, right? So, I sure help. Finding a game is a joke now. Too many platforms, especially the ones like Peacock and Apple TV, the pay ones. Changing the stupid blackouts are long overdue and would be beneficial to all fans. So they probably won't address that at this point. The contract talks will continue to be in the news. We will not be able to avoid it even if you don't care. I'm preparing for the worst, but I'm always asking myself, can both parties actually be stupid enough to cancel games or the season over any of these topics? If the players are so opposed to a salary cap and floor, Are they in favor of the CBT, the collective bargaining tax? This has been an absolute farce. It's a joke, and it doesn't limit teams in the least. Same top 8, same bottom 8, and the other 14 who sit in the middle, they just play the game to avoid the top or bottom. Teams like the Pirates, with their cheapest owner in Major League Baseball, manipulating the results. This has been a joke, and if I was an owner, this needs to change. Like we continue to say, if the Colorado Rockies do not like the revenue split between the $9 billion Yankees and the $1.75 billion Rockies, the Rockies owner should have bought the Yankees. What did you expect? We will have plenty of time to debate the issues at hand on this. Think of this as an intro to all the shit that they will throw at us. At this point, I wonder how Manfred and Major League Baseball will spin this off on the fans. Did you guys watch the game or see anything from Tuesday, June 23rd's game with the Nationals versus the Phillies? Jeez. If you are a Nationals fan, this is the day which may define your season. The Nationals lost 14-9 to the Phillies, as the Phillies came back from 8-6 with 2 outs in the ninth inning to win the game 14-9. I had a friend who was at the Nationals game, and he said the best thing about the game was all the Philly fans already thought that they were going to lose, and they had already left. Unbelievable. Wow. The Nationals. I don't know what to say. Woo. Well, that night, Brad Lord was the main culprit. He's pitched well for the Nationals this year. But that game, wow. 2 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned runs, a walk, couple Ks, and 2 home runs he gave up. What makes it worse is that was his first blown save of the year. But I guess if you're going to blow a save, woohoo, this is the way to go. Now, the Nationals sit 26 out of 30 teams in team ERA at 4.71. And that's a major improvement from previous years. And they're 26 out of 30 teams in giving up 419 runs this year. I guess the good thing is that they're actually leading Major League Baseball in runs scored at 429 runs. That's an average of 5.36 runs per game. So they got an offense. It's just a shame that their bullpen and starting pitching just implodes game after game. Top offensive teams? You tell me if you're surprised. The Nationals, number 1 at 429 runs scored. The Dodgers with 419. The Brewers with 401. And the Yankees with 396. Now, which ones of these teams don't belong? Exactly, right? The Nationals. But, as far as play, since June 1st, do you know what team is the hottest? And there's not a lot of hot teams. The Marlins are sitting at number 1. They're 15-5 since June 1st. Phillies have come back nice. They're second in that with a 13-7 record. The Tigers are 12-7. And the Dodgers are 13-8. And the Brewers are 13-8. Those are the top 5 teams as far as record in June since June 1st. And the bottom, it's always the same, right? The Reds have been, come back to the pack. They've been playing shitty at 7-13. The Rays hit a skid. They're at 7-13 since June 1st. Pirates are 7-12. Red Sox are they're just floundering along at 7-12. It looks like they're not going anywhere. And the Guardians are 7-12. So, between the Tigers and the Guardians flopping records, that's bringing the Tigers back into this. Whew. Can you say June swoon? So many teams are just staying above water. And surprisingly, teams that were playing great are in the bottom 10, like the Braves. The Braves are playing at 8 and 10 and have let the Phillies and whoever else is playing over 500 get back into this race. The Phillies have come back from 10.5 games out to now they sit at 5.5. That's pretty damn good. Oh, we've got the same thing going on this year. The bullpens. Damn. This is a theme that's been, I think it's at least the third year. And the worst bullpens after the 7th inning, that's where it all starts. And once again, it's not a real surprise. We've got the Minnesota Twins with an ERA of 5.67. The Angels with an ERA of 5.30. The Nationals at 5.29. The A's at 5.09. The Royals at 5. And then it rounds out the top 10 with the Rockies, Pirates, Orioles, Rays, and Reds. And those are the teams that either they've started well, or they're not playing well now, or they're just totally inconsistent. And you guys know that we love the topic of blown saves. And it's happening. It's happening again by an awful lot. The Nationals have blown 23 saves. They lead the majors in that. The A's are second with 17 blown saves. The White Sox with 17. The Tigers with 17 blown saves. The Royals with 16. The Angels 16. The Pirates 16. Reds 15. And the Rockies with 13. And following up with the Brewers. Now, the Brewers have 13 blown saves, but they've also converted on 25. So they've been around. Their bullpen is, you just can't read how many blown saves and say that these are shitty pens. The Brewers still have one of the best pens around. They've had a lot of opportunities for saves. And this goes hand in hand with, it is another year of shitty bullpens, though. And when teams learn to leave the starters in longer, I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't catch on. Does it seem like every other night there's 10 runs scored in a game? Well, the Dodgers have scored 10 runs 12 games this year. The Nationals have done it 11 games. The Yankees 9 games. And the Angels 9 games. And the Cubs 9 games as well. Wow, that's wild. Now, you can definitely see a trend in teams that hit and what teams struggle to hit. Teams that tend to blow games late in the game and, they don't possess a bullpen worth of shit. They may be exciting, but that's the kind of team that gets eaten up at playoff time. Duh. I'm not coming up with a miracle stat here. It's just obvious to everyone but Major League Baseball GMs, I guess. Crazy stats. Well, I think that's a wrap on today's show. I hope you enjoyed our 13th episode of Season 3 of Mo's World, the baseball podcast. We are in our in-season schedule for releasing new episodes every other Friday. Our next episode will air on July 10th, 2026. Each episode is approximately 20 minutes long, and we have a new section in the podcast. You can now support us and become a subscriber. Shout-outs, contests, and more to come for those who do. Thank you for listening, and please spread the word to your friends. In the meantime, ask yourself, whose world is it? It's Mo's World.